Alright, it is time. I'm gonna get ready, get a squad put together for another Wednesday night flight. This one actually still Wednesday at the moment. I have Wednesday night off because I work graveyard, of course, so the very first Wednesday night flight was technically Thursday morning, but it was early enough it counted. Welcome everybody. This is just a series that I'm starting about X-Wing miniatures. Started streaming my first season of, that I played anyway, of the Vassal League, which is an online version of the game, which is where we're at now. Well, I guess it's over that way. But an online version of a tabletop X-Wing simulator. And we're going to make ourselves a squad. Just something fun, not competitive at all. We're just going to have some fun. One of the nice ways to get better at the game is to fly other ships that you don't normally fly, just so you can get a handle on them. So that's one of the other reasons that I want to do this is, just to get a sense for how ships kind of move around that I don't fly all the time, that I might come up against. So I can better understand when I play against them when the next season does start. Plus, it's just a good time. It's just fun. So, today we're doing a scum list. Scum and villainy. And we're going to be hitting up Mr. Bosk. Bosk is a pretty sweet dude. He comes in... what is his ship called? The Houndstooth. Big old ship. I'll show you guys here when we put it on the board. This is him. This is Bosk. He's strong. Alright, Bosk is pretty good. Let's go into his card here. I'm probably gonna end up redoing this. Came up with this today. Trying to figure out something to do. And I wanted to make the most out of Bosk and a new card that's coming out called Swarm Leader. And so what can I do with this? Swarm Leader allows you to remove up to 2 evade tokens, so you can add up to 2 power to your ship that you're shooting with. Bosk gets to... he only has 3 attack dice like a lot of other ships. However, he can turn a crit into 2 hits later on. So you can do a maximum of 6 damage. Or, well, actually, with just a regular shot. And then if you get up into range 1, you could do 7. It's just pretty strong. So we're gonna try it out. We're gonna see if we can get something done with it. So let's put that there. Let's put here. And what else are we going to be putting on Bosk today? Let's get his pilot card out. Try to make this nice and neat, because he's got a lot of upgrades going on him, so we want to make sure we keep all this kind of in the same spot. He's going to be flying with something not a lot of people fly. These little Sikhs. They recently got a little bit of a buff, a little bit stronger, so we're going to go ahead and throw them in and see how they do with that. They just have a little bit more staying power. We're not doing anybody fancy, we're just doing 2 small-time little Tansari Point veterans. They're really just there for the evade token. If they can do some damage and soak up some shots, that's just fine too. Alright, on to upgrades. Okay, so we want them to stay alive for a while. We also want them to be able to evade. Evade's not necessarily the strongest thing in all situations, especially if I'm going to be taking that away from them. So we need to get them something else to stay alive. So I've given them both push the limit, which lets me do 2 actions at the cost of stress. I've also given them both stealth device. Stealth device gonna let us get an extra agility die until we take our first hit, and then we lose that card. But um, it can stick around for a while if we dodge well enough. And if Bosk hasn't shot by the time they're getting taking attacks, then we might need to spend their token. It's fine. Bosk is totally good on his own. Also, to make Bosk even more powerful, because why not, I'm giving them both tractor beams. To do that, I have to give them both their titles, though. So they both need the Heavy Sick title. That increases their hull by 1 and allows me to either put on a cannon, a missile, or a torpedo. Of course, we went with the cannon here, just trying to make them strong. Alright, so let's get these guys going. They're going to be pilot skill 5. Going to be attack 2. Defense for right now 4. Hull 3. And a shield. Alright, Mr. Bosk. We need him to be punching out damage. We want him to be the big scary thing. That will help deter them from attacking these guys that are fragile. But we also don't want to get just wasted either. So, what we're going to do, in addition to Swarm Leader, we're going to give him the ability to just pack a huge punch. We're going to go with the Mangler Cannon. Like I said, Bosk has the ability to turn 1 crit into 2 hits, so it's kind of like getting what everybody wants, typically, is the double damage critical hit. And we can get that basically any time, as long as we do an attack that hits. If we're tractor beaming guys, if we're able to, at least get one of those, then that's going to reduce their agility. It's going to make his hit even better. We're also going to be taking some crew. Bosk typically takes a lot of crew with him, even if it's a generic Houndstooth YV666. We'll be taking kind of the classic crew that goes on him. 4 loam. Allows us to take an ion token in order to negate one of their own focus or evade tokens. So it makes them much less defensive. And we can do that twice before we actually have to worry about the effects of ion. We're going to have to move these guys down a little bit. Make room for more upgrade cards, because there's more coming. Next up, we got everybody's favorite guy, Zuckuss. Zuckuss is a nasty dude. If the bad guy happens to reroll really good, we can make him reroll his defense dice. At the cost of stress, for each one we make him reroll. So even if he rolls poorly but still gets 1 evade, we can still make him reroll that one and only take 1 stress. So it's not terrible to do on almost all attacks. Somebody that doesn't normally go on Bosk is going to be Ketsuonyo. She is going to allow these tractor tokens to stay right where they're at. Normally, at the end of the round, they would come off. But now they're just going to hang on to those as long as they're within range, I believe 1 to 2. Let me double check that. 1 to 2. Pretty good. Pretty good. Now we're going to be able to shoot really hard, but once they get behind us, it's hard to turn around. Well, we can turn around once well by taking Burnout Slam. It's going to allow us to do a second move action at the same speed as the first. It replaces our attack, so we won't get attacked that round, but at least we can swing around and bring our guns to bear again. Can only do it once, though, unfortunately. I would pay for more points if it allowed me to do it more. And one last thing we want, need a modification. As a large ship, sometimes you're going to get ran into. It happens, it's fine. How we use that to our advantage is we take Ion Projector. Hopefully we can give them an Ion token when they hit us. Not a sure thing, but it's good to have there just in case. It's only 2 points. We're not worried about initiative bids or anything like that. We have a pilot skill 7 and 2 5s. We're not outdoing Soon to Your Fell here. Alright, so Bosk has 7 pilot skill, 3 attack, 1 agility, and 6 hull, and 6 shields. Oh, that gave him too much. There we go. I'd love it if it was 4, but it's not, unfortunately. Alright, let's get everybody named up. What do we want to kill these guys? Tansari Point veterans? I'll just call them Vet 1, Vet 2. That's easy. Alright, as far as debris or asteroids, I haven't put too much thought into this part of it. We do want some target lock tokens. At least 1 for Bosk and 1 for both of them. Alright, so let's think here. We don't really want asteroids to play a huge part. We want to be able to fly wherever we need to with these guys, and we also want to take Bosk and not have to worry too much when we go to turn or anything like that. So I'm thinking we just take some small little rocks, because we don't want to lose the ability to attack. Just clicking through to see which ones are probably the smallest. This one's definitely one of the smallest. There's another one. Alright, probably not the absolute smallest rocks, but we don't want them not to be a thing either. They can help us as long as we miss them and our opponent does not. So, that should do it. I believe we're set. I actually put all these guys, well, at least these 2. here. I'll put these guys right there. I just like to stay kind of organized on the board, so that way when I poop everything out, when we find a match, go straight into it. Alright, so that's our build. 100 points. I'm going to dig it in a log file here. What do we want to name this? I haven't thought of a name yet. I mean, I named it Super Busk on my phone, but I don't know if that's what we want. He's flying the Houndstooth. We could do like, and we're really giving him teeth on this build. We could do Busk's teeth or something like that. I don't like going with the generic kind of Super Busk thing, but I don't have anything else at the moment. I'll think about while we find a match, but for right now, I think we'll just go Super Busk. Alright. We just do a little delete, a little undo, and there's our log file for this build. Alright. That's that, guys. Now it's all a matter of finding an opponent. So, I am going to let that begin. I'm going to go log out of this, shut down the stream until we find an opponent, because sometimes that can take a while. Last time we got actually pretty lucky. Found a German opponent pretty quick. I think he was German. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're ready to go, so we just gotta find somebody willing to take us on. Again, we're not here for competition. We're just here to have a good time. And if I can get a couple shots off at full strength, it's gonna be good. That's really gonna be what it boils down to. So, stick with us. We'll be right back when we find an opponent.